Before I describe how to create virtual devices or connect physical devices to test your applications, I'll give you a brief tour of Android Studio. To learn more about Android Studio, watch the course Android Studio Essential Training, where I describe in depth many of the great features of this product. To follow along with this demonstration, you can either continue with the project that I created in the previous video, or you can open that project from the exercise files in the appropriate directory under Chapter 2. When you first create the project, there are two tabs, one for the main activity Java class file and one for its associated XML layout file. The size of the layout file will differ depending on how much space has been allocated to each window. As you move the separator back and forth, you'll see the default presentation change size. Android Studio is organized around these windows. The central window is called the editor window, and you can see either Java code here, or XML code, or in some cases previews of those files. This is called an XML layout file. Its name is contentmain.xml, and in design mode you see approximately what it might look like on a particular device. To see the raw XML, click on the Text tab at the bottom, and now you'll see the actual text. And over on the right you might see a preview window. If you don't, you can open that by selecting View, Tool Windows, and then Preview. And once again, the preview window's job is to give you a sense of what this screen or activity might look like on an actual device. So you have the editor window and the preview window, but you have a whole bunch of other windows that are available to you as well. This is called the project window. By default, it's displaying files and folders in an organization known as a scope, and the default scope is called the Android scope. The Android scope isn't showing you the actual organization of files on disk. Instead, it's filtering and reorganizing to present only the files and folders that you'll find yourself using the most when you're doing development work. To locate a particular file in the project window, open the file in the editor window, and then click on the Scroll from Source icon at the top of the project window, and that will open the directory that contains that file and show you the file itself. To see the organization of files and folders on disk, pull down the Scope menu and choose Project, and now you'll see everything exactly the way it's laid out on your hard disk. In addition to the project window, there's also the Structure window, which shows you the structure of both XML and Java files, the Captures window, which will show you different reports you can generate to show how your app is performing on a device, Build Variants, and Favorites. Down at the bottom, you'll see a variety of windows, and the exact order may not be the same on your computer. These are reorganized depending on what you've done previously and the particular context of the task you're working on at the moment. One of the most important of these, and a window that always appears at the bottom screen, is called the Android Monitor. You'll use this window to see messages that are being sent to you from a device when an app is running. These are known as logcat messages, and there's a logcat tab right here. There's also a Monitors tab, and you can click on that tab and then double-click the bar at the top of the window to expand it, and you'll see that there are monitors for memory, CPU, network, and GPU. When you use these monitors, you can capture reports, and those reports end up in the Captures window over here. Double-click that bar again to shrink it back down, and then you can make any window go away by clicking on this Hide icon in the top right corner of any of the windows. You can open the various windows by clicking on the icons that are scattered around the user interface, but you can also open them by hovering the mouse over this icon in the lower left, and it'll show you a listing of available windows that make sense for what you're doing at the moment. You can also get to any of these windows through the menu by selecting View, Tool Windows, and once again you see all the windows listed and their associated keyboard shortcuts on your operating system. To learn about all the different shortcuts that are available, go to the menu and choose Help, and then open the Key Map reference, and this is available on both Mac and Windows. It's a PDF file, and you'll see the reference card for your operating system. This is the Key Map reference card for Windows and Linux. You see those icons at the top. You can save or print this PDF if you find it useful, but I'm just going to close the browser and return to Android Studio. Above these windows, you'll see a navigation bar, and it's showing the directory structure for the currently selected file. If I have main activity open, I see the first app package directory, and if I go to the XML file, now I'm seeing the directory structure for where my layout files are stored. And again, you can find the actual location of that file anytime by clicking on the scroll from source icon in the project window. To build your applications, that is, to compile and package them, use the Build menu. There are a number of important features here. There are 3 that are always available and others that are active depending on what you're doing at the moment and the state of your project. You should always be able to select Make Project, and that simply recompiles all of your Java and XML code. But you can also do more complete rebuilds. Rebuild Project rebuilds everything from the ground up, and Clean Project does the same thing, but it starts by deleting any existing artifacts from previous compilation processes. As you get deeper into using Android Studio, you'll learn about build types and flavors and build variants. You'll also work with libraries and dependencies, and when you're ready to deploy your applications, you'll need to learn how to build and generate signed APKs. An APK is an archive file, that is, a compressed file that includes all of your compiled code and all of your application resources. That file is what you use to deploy the application to the Google Play Store or other distribution channels. I'll give you a lot more tips about Android Studio as we go along through this and other courses in the series, but that's an introduction to navigating around Studio and using its windows and its menus.